Hey, good morning. It's Monday, about 10:30 in the morning. Looks like a beautiful start to the day. No rain. During the rainy season, or really anytime it rains over here in Thailand, probably 80% of the time it rains. It's going to be 4, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock into the early evening. And if it's a storm passing, it'll just rain 24 hours a day. But generally, you're better off making plans for this time of day to stay dry. There goes the coconut ice cream man. And I know I've did a lot of videos going up to Bumrungrad Hospital, but hey, you know, that's life. I'm getting all these checkups and all. Heading up in that direction just to get the results of some different cardiology tests. I had a CAT scan on my heart, EKG, so I'm gonna sit down with a cardiologist, and I expect everything's gonna be fine, but better safe than sorry. Get these tests out of the way and not worry about a whole bunch for at least the next year, and then maybe do some tests again. These major tests I don't have to do every year, but it's good to get them out of the way. I've never had a major test on my heart, much less a CAT scan, so I'll be interested to get a clear report, hopefully. And I walked by a lot of good Japanese places. Somebody had asked me in the comments about the price of sushi. They said that's their favorite and how expensive is sushi in Bangkok. My comment was it's at the higher end, but as I think about things, it's really not that expensive at all. I mean, a good like California roll is it's probably 80 baht, so that's cheap. But for tuna rolls and things that are a little bit more expensive, it's still going to be maybe under $5 a roll. Again, at the higher end of Thai prices, certainly more than Thai food, but not expensive in the big scheme of things. I'm really getting into a Thai way of thinking, and when I see a $5 or $6 sushi roll, I think twice about ordering 3 of them, where I wouldn't blink an eye in California. Hey, it's $6 sushi night. Give me 10 of them. But over here, you think twice. The same with steakhouses. I always walk by the fancy steakhouses here in Bangkok and comment on, hey, take a look at that crazy expensive $70 steak. Again, that same steak at a good steakhouse in California or many parts of the world is probably going to be $150 plus drinks, tip, whatever. You're lucky to walk out of there, a couple of people, for $250. That's probably a good deal. Where over here, that same splurge might be, and I'll make up the numbers, $150. Again, that's real money, but is it crazy expensive? Well, not compared to California, it's not. And it's sure okay to get that steak once in a while, but when you can get some Michelin award-winning noodles here for $2, that's the way to go 75% of the time. Even all the delivery drivers here in green, they're all waiting to pick up those noodles and transport them around town. And that's another consideration around town. It is 10:30 going on 11 in the morning. You can find any kind of food, fried chicken at 6, 7 in the morning, coconut ice cream, whatever. That noodle place, I'm sure, is very, very busy at 8 o'clock in the morning. There's not a lot of breakfast burrito shops around Bangkok. It's just kind of the same food all day long, which is good because it's great food. This is Soi 24.5, kind of has a reputation of a crazy massage shop alley right off of Soi 26. And I try to follow my own advice. As I'm walking up to the Prompong BTS, I see the bus pulling up. I'm just going two stops down the way to Nana. So for 15 baht, jump on this nice air-conditioned bus and save myself, who cares about saving 15 baht, but I'm saving myself maybe 7-8 minutes rather than walking up, waiting for the SkyTrain. Maybe not that much this time of day. They probably come every 3 or 4 minutes. The air-conditioned bus passed me by, but here comes another bus. So they know what they're doing, and a bus kind of rolls up it seems every 1 minute. So if one happens to be passing by as I'm standing here, yeah, I just jump on the bus. It's just as simple. And where it lists the doctors up on the TV screen, my doctor is listed as a captain, so he must be in the Thai military as well. And here's the view out the window here at Bumrungrad Hospital. That rail you see is the airport train heading towards Phetchaburi. We're in the Nana area. I'm waiting for a train to head by. When it goes by to the right, the next stop is Phetchaburi and Makassan Station. So good news here in cardiology. I had very little plaque for my age of 57, and I asked him what that meant. He said I was 0.06 of whatever measurement they take on plaque. And I said, well, what is bad? Is it 2.0 or 3.0? And he goes, no, 100 is bad. So I'm not real worried at being under 1%. He said that's very good and no blockages. Everything looks fine. They gave me a very detailed report. There must be 20 color pictures of my heart from the CAT scan I took yesterday. So that's good news. I still have a little elevated, the bad cholesterol, I guess the LDL. So we are going to try a statin. I'm going to try to watch the beer intake and steaks and all that kind of thing. But medicine over here, like anywhere in the world, is kind of expensive. So I paid $40 US for a copay to see the cardiologist today, and I paid $90, $88 or so for a 6-month supply of statin every other day, a very low dose. We're just going to try a small amount. So 90 pills was, I paid 30% of the cost of the medicine. So roughly it was $300 for 90 pills, and that cost me $90 or 88 something as my copay. Now I have insurance where it's somewhere there's 3 levels of Federal Blue Cross. I have the middle one, which cost me about $190 $190 a month. If I pay $300 a month, then my medicine is 15% of whatever the charge is. My copay on the doctor today would have been $10 less, but I'd pay closer to $300, I believe, for that coverage a month. So I'm fine with the $189. This is kind of a unusual event to come in here and do all these medical procedures. So hopefully I'll still be okay. Only going to the doctor once a year, and it's really not worth me paying an extra $100, $125 a month to basically get lower prescriptions and that kind of thing. But you know your own situation. If you're on 4 different medicines, well, things are going to be a lot more expensive in Thailand or the Philippines, different places. I hear different bloggers all the time say, I take 3-4 medicines, and here in the Philippines that costs me $200-$300 a month for my prescriptions, where in the US it would have been $10 a piece under Medicare or TRICARE, etc. So you'll have to do all the math on that. I'm just giving you the numbers on how it worked out for me. One of my buddies mentioned he's on a statin and he got leg cramps and different cramping. And I talked to the doctor about that. He says, yeah, it's pretty common, usually on the higher doses. He said, we're going to try a very low dose, and let's try every other day. And then I'm going to come back in 6 months, try to control the diet. I'll keep up with my exercises. And hopefully, I'm not crazy high on my cholesterol. I don't know. I think it should be 160 or below on the bad LDL, and I think I'm 176. So we're gonna try to get it down. I'll come back in 6 months, do some more blood work, and go from there. Maybe cut back on the statin if it's looking okay, and then check it in another 6 months. I'm not a big fan of taking all these medicines, but I'm less of a fan of having a heart attack one day from high cholesterol. So all in all, good news with all these medical procedures I've had over this major physical. I'll try to get that cholesterol down, come back in 6 months. Otherwise, I'll be back in a year and do my physical again, try to keep up on anything. I did ask them if here in Thailand, if there's a generic drug system and all, and he said there was, but they don't do generics here at the hospital. So I'm not gonna get crazy about trying to save $20. If I am gonna take this statin medicine every day at some point in my life, well, yeah, I'll have to figure out what's the most affordable way, if it's a mail-in program or what. Now, of course, filling these prescriptions back in the US, and I'll probably be there for a visit at some point, that will be the smartest decision. I'm just giving you an idea of what things costed for me today. And so you can just have an idea of what those expenses might be. Here's the Central Mall, the department store. It goes to the Central Chitlom, Central Embassy, and then here to Bumrungrad Hospital. If you live in a condo anywhere over in that area, or you just want to go from here to the mall, I've seen that shuttle here coming and going every time. There's also shuttles that go from the hospital straight to the BTS. Myself, I'm going to try to get a little exercise and just walk it off. Now, if I didn't have insurance today, off the top of my head, I believe the total bill was a little under 13,000 baht, the cash price for seeing the cardiologist today, obviously a specialist, and paying for that 90 pills or 6 months of medicine in my case. Not really 6 months worth. I'm taking it every other day, but that 90 pills. So do that math on if paying cash for all these things is something you're going to attempt to do, and I really would recommend against that. It's not these doctor visits or a lousy $100 prescription. It's more if you really get sick and need some major cancer treatment or an open heart surgery. I mean, those things could be in the hundreds of thousands of US dollars. Me personally, I kind of look at this health insurance like home insurance. I mean, I would much rather pay what I pay today, $125 compared to $450, but yeah, I'm paying $200 a month for that privilege. The insurance is not really for these small little visits. It's just like the home insurance wasn't to repair a roof. That you had to just suck up and do. The home insurance was if the house burned down. And the health insurance, in my view, is when things just go wrong in a major, major way. Here's the Zenith Hotel, right on Sukhumvit Soi. What are we on? Soi 3. And right across the way is the Nana Plaza on Soi 4. I'm getting a little bit of traffic here, heading up to Sukhumvit. And I know I probably say Sukhumvit the wrong way. Sukhumvit. I say Sukhumvit. I need to get out of that habit. But I was talking about that with a Thai friend, and she said, yeah, Thais don't care about that. She goes, you for wrong. You Americans and English guys and the German guys, you like to correct one another on how you say Pattaya, or at least I don't say Pattaya Beach anymore. I mean, back in the Navy, it was super, super common. Hey, we're going to Pattaya Beach, Pattaya Beach. Yeah, I don't do that anymore. But if I say Pattaya, every Thai person in the world is going to understand what I'm talking about, even if I'm not speaking like a proper Thai. Once again, she said, you guys seem a little more uptight on that. I'm not at all, but I have had comments in the, or comments on my videos like, you really have to learn how to say Thai words correctly, and on and on. I grew up in Southern California, where I've heard Los Angeles pronounced maybe 12 different ways, and yeah, it's just not that big a deal. My mom's 100% Mexican, and when a person comes to San Diego, I don't correct a person and say, well, actually it's San Diego, not San Diego. Yeah, nobody really cares, and nobody really cares over here either. So lighten up, come over, try to say the word correct, but don't beat yourself up over it.